Hi, my name's Cardi, and I'm a software engineering major here at the University of Michigan Dearborn. I have bought my books at the bookstore until last semester. Last semester I bought them off of the internet, and I believe I only had 2 books. I think they were $140 less than if I would have bought them at the bookstore because they didn't have any used books, so I would have had to buy them new. They were international editions, but they did have the same content, and the only difference was that the questions were numbered differently at the end of the semester, so I've just met up with students in class and translated. The bookstore, I think, is overpriced. I'm sure it's probably the same thing on other campuses, but they definitely should have more competitive prices, or pretty soon everyone will just be buying them off the internet anyway, and they probably will go out of business.
Hi, my name is Andrew Salvo, and my major is biology. I do, in fact, buy my books from the bookstore, and I feel like they are severely overpriced. Each year I come to school, and each textbook is around $200, $250, and I know me and a bunch of other students are getting sick of this. And I feel that the new UMD book swap is a good opportunity for students to go out, team up with each other, and trade books, and get around the bookstore's high prices. I believe that this new opportunity for students will make the bookstore realize that they need to lower their prices and start respecting students.
My name is Michael Shammy. I'm a biology major here at U of M. I'm a senior. I buy my books from Amazon, and I buy them there because they're a lot cheaper than the bookstore. The bookstore oversells books, and one example was my microbiology textbook was upwards of $240 at the bookstore, and I bought it brand new on Amazon.com for like $110, less than half the price. So the bookstore is just overly priced, really doesn't help students, and I really don't like the bookstore because when I sell back my books, they'll only give me $5 or $10 for books that they sold me for maybe $150, or they're going to sell back for like $150. So it really is kind of a ripoff. And that's why I don't buy my books at the bookstore anymore.
My name is Nadine Hazimi, and I'm a biochemistry major. And I usually buy my books from Amazon. However, I bought some from the bookstore. However, I think that even though it has lots of the books required for my classes, they were way too overpriced, and I didn't even use most of the books for my classes anyways.
My name's Natalie, and when I first got here, I bought my books from the bookstore, and we had to wait in the line for like 20 minutes, and when we got there, we ended up paying $500 for 4 books, and I later found out that if I had bought them on Amazon or something, I could have paid for half the price. So maybe I should just start going to Amazon now.
No. My name is Samir Hijazi. I'm a journalism major, and I'm a junior. I used to get my books from a mixture of Amazon and eBay, and I never used to get them from the bookstore. Some of the books that I don't think are necessary for my classes, I just ended up not getting at all because the prices at the bookstore are too expensive. What I think of the bookstore, I think that they kind of rip off the students because when you buy a book for like $110 or $120 and then they buy it back from you, they give you back like $30 and then they mark it up and end up selling it for like $70 or $80. And I just think you're losing both ways because first of all, you could have gotten that book cheaper in the first place and sold it like on eBay for a higher price. So I feel like it's more beneficial to the students with this new book swap thing that we have going.
Start?
Yes, ma'am.
So, what's your name and major?
Sabrina Ali. I'm elementary education.
Okay.
Do you want me to look at you or the camera?
Doesn't matter.
You look at
Baby, raise your voice.
Okay, where do you buy your books typically?
I usually buy them online, like eBay or Amazon or someplace like
Why is that?
because they're cheaper.
So what do you think about the bookstore then?
I think college bookstores in general are way overpriced.
Okay, so do you think the UMD book swap is a good idea?
I think so, yeah.
thank you.
Good.
Okay, so what is your name and major?
My name is Lawrence Bull and I'm a history major.
Okay, and where do you usually buy your books from?
I usually buy them from here, or if I can, I'll get it from an online store cheaper.
But what do you think about the bookstore? And
I think they're pretty outrageous prices, and you never get nearly as much back as what you pay for them.
okay, so you believe that selling them for more than the bookstore would give you, and buying them for cheaper than they'll sell you them.
Yeah, the deprivation in value shouldn't be that fast over a single semester.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, so what is your name and major?
Stephanie, and my major is business finance.
Okay, and where do you typically buy your books from?
The bookstore.
And what do you think about the bookstore?
Well, obviously it's overpriced, and you don't get nearly as much back as you should, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation.
And what do you think about buying your books online in general?
I don't really trust online, and basically because of theft that could happen. Just putting my credit card online is really scary to me, and I don't want to do that, so I have no choice but to go to the bookstore.
So what do you think about an online website that allows you to exchange your books with someone on campus?
Yeah, I think that would be a lot better because I can trust someone if I see them face to face, but by just going off of what online says, it kind of freaks me out.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, Mo, what's your name and major?
My name is Mo, and I'm a history major.
Where do you buy your books from?
I usually used to buy them at the bookstore, but they got too expensive, so I started buying them online. I like half.com.
What do you think of the bookstore?
It's way too overpriced.
Have you heard of bookswap.org?
Yeah, actually I have, and I think it's a great idea.
You think we should continue with it?
We should start it, yeah.
And you think the administration should have any say in whatsoever if we can go through this, or?
Not really, because it's not up to them. It's an outside organization. Being done in school, it's just like having eBay. They can't stop that.
So you think it's something that's reasonable, can be
Of course,
accomplished?
and it helps students out a lot, especially in these tough economic times.
All right, thank you for your time.
Anytime, man.
See you next.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what is your name and major?
Tara Bars are sociology.
Okay, and where do you typically buy your books from?
The bookstore.
And what do you think about the bookstore?
I think it's pretty good. I work here, so.
You
yeah.
work here.
So I can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah, that's true. Then
Since
you have nothing.
Yeah, because
then- So all we need to know is your name and your major.
Shauna Bader. My major?
Yeah.
General Studies of Marketing and Psychology.
Okay, and where do you typically buy your books from?
The bookstore.
And then what do you think about the bookstore and their prices?
I haven't really compared them to anything else, so I don't really know, but it's definitely not cheap.
Yeah, a lot each semester. And so what do you think about the UMD book swap, basically what we told you about it?
Well, it's not, to me it sounds like a good idea because it saves, especially if you're paying out of pocket and you're just exchanging it between people. It sounds like a good idea.
Okay, thank you.